Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Uh, Today, I have a very interesting and special guest, and she's my first international guest. She's joining us from Sydney, Australia. And before I start talking to her, I would like to let you all know that a little bit about her. She holds a master's degree in human resource management and is a change management expert. I don't know much about this. I guess she will explain more what this work, what is she doing. And also she's a spiritual healer, right? So hi Sarika,
Hi
welcome.
everyone. Hi Masuma.
I'm so happy to have you here. Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
yeah. Okay, so Sarika, you have a company or you have a business, is it, which is called To Upliftment, right?
That is correct.
Right. So, but before we go to that, could you please tell me a little bit about yourself? Tell me who you are, what's your background like, what's your childhood like. Just a brief introduction about you, if possible.
Sure. Well, to begin with, I am a human being, which is very important for us these days. We
Yeah,
have to be
yeah,
absolutely be a human to understand each other. On
right.
top of it, I am blessed to be a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I am just me,
Okay, that's good.
just a simple person like everyone else.
Hmm.
I want to be happy,
Hmm.
and I think that life is full of beauty, life is full of positiveness around us.
Hmm.
And I always try to look at the brighter side in life,
Right.
to understand the positive traits that people
Hmm.
bring along or the positivity that flows along
Hmm.
everywhere throughout this world.
Right.
Personally, I'm a happily married woman. My parents are in India. I hail from India, from Mumbai,
Okay.
and I now live in Sydney. I have a master's degree in human resources with a change management expertise and project management expertise, wherein my professional life entails a lot of organization design and development, training and professional development, performance evaluation, recruitment, talent management, and things like that. But on the other side, I have recently developed and become a spiritual healer,
Wow.
and that's the journey that I'm currently in.
So it's quite a different, being in the corporate field, being into human resource, and I mean, having a master's degree in this, and then now to move into spiritual healing. So how did that happen? What was your journey like to bring you to where you are right now and in the work that you're doing?
I believe our journey is always continuous, and my journey is still continuing.
Mm,
And we are growing every day, we learn every day.
mm,
Being a professional in a corporate environment in human resources is quite taxing and trying.
mm,
You come across people from different walks of life and you have to manage them on a day to day basis. So the emotional content of your life is evolved at that point in time. You
mm,
become more empathetic towards people because you are dealing with them on a daily basis. You're trying to resolve their issues, their problems. That's where the human resources aspect comes into play. And as a change manager, you develop the organization and the workforce. So a lot of your heart and soul goes into understanding people, realizing what they must be going through, how things are for them at that point in time, what change is impacting them. And
mm,
that's how the journey began to become a spiritual healer, because there was a lot of similarities in becoming a spiritual healer. I was still dealing with people, I'm
mm,
still trying to empathize with their situations. Until date, my journey has been very interesting. It's been very adventurous. At times, it has been very tiring and testing.
mm-hmm.
We all have those ups and downs in our life we
Right.
go through. And that low moment, I have always picked up myself and I have
Right.
faced life again, started again, and I've gone ahead and lived it to the fullest.
Yes.
So there have been times when I have also been very low and lonely.
Hmm.
And they say, it's a common practice that they say when you laugh, the world laughs with you, and when you cry alone. Some people, they dig themselves in their sorrow. However, what I thought was, if I dig myself in my sorrow, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not being able to live my life to the fullest. So I picked up myself again. I restarted my life, and I am where I am, who I am today. And I'm really very proud of the accomplishments that I have achieved throughout this journey. I feel at that point in time when I was really low and lonely, I was a full time carer, and I had nothing else to do but to look into medicines, look into doctors' files, look into reports and things like that.
Right.
But then I picked up myself and I said, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to make things positive for me.
Hmm.
I'm going to live this life the way God wants me to live. I want to be happy. And at that point in time, I found a strange strength within myself, which
Right.
provided me with the courage of facing the situation
Hmm.
and overcoming it, turning it around, not affecting my professional life, not affecting my personal life or my relationships. However, not everyone can do that. Some people
Right.
need some push, or some people need, a guide to be uplifted. And that's how the journey began for the path to upliftment.
Right. You talk about an episode that happened in your life. Would you like to let our viewers know what was that turning point in your life?
Um, I wouldn't go into detail because it's quite sad, and I would like
Yeah.
to make people feel positive about how they can improve and go ahead in their life. But yes, there was a medical condition that a member of my family had undergone,
Yeah.
and it was very difficult for us to manage that situation. Our
Right.
careers were at stake, our house was at stake because of that medical condition. There was a lot of expenses happening. There were no friends and family. I live in Sydney, in a foreign country, and I hail from India, so my family is in India. I was all by myself
Right.
managing that situation.
Right.
Instead of giving up, I picked up myself.
Right. That's commendable. So now, why is spiritual healing important for us, and how does it help us? And what is spiritual healing according to you? Could you please tell me that? I mean, tell our viewers.
Sure. Spiritual healing, the terminology may sound very spiritual in nature. People may
Right.
connect with different ideologies.
That's right.
However,
Hmm.
the particular spiritual healing that I am following, or I would be proposing to everyone, is that let go of your regrets.
Hmm.
Everyone has regrets in life,
Right.
and people have to overcome these regrets. However, some
Hmm.
don't.
Hmm.
The baggage is then carried in their entire mind, entire life, everyday lifestyle is
Hmm.
impacted. The impact is thorough and deep. The impact is on their relationships, their career,
Hmm.
their mindset, or even general well being altogether.
Hmm.
And it affects their mental health, and they may not even realize that.
Okay.
To overcome these obstacles and to start a fresh life, it is important that everyone is healed, and not just healed physically, but
Hmm.
completely from mind, body, and soul. And your spirit is enhanced, your soul is enhanced. You feel fresh within yourself,
Hmm.
internally and
Yeah.
mentally. And that is what spiritual healing is all about. It helps you to live a better life, to be a better human being, and to be overall happy and see the positivity that life brings to you.
Right. So, I mean, uh, what is your motive? I mean, by being a spiritual healer, what is your motive? And, why would you do something like that?
Like I mentioned, I personally have gone through a lot of ups and downs in life, and I have
Mm,
picked up myself several times and come to a
mm,
spot where I decided I have to turn things around.
yeah,
You need a lot of courage and a lot of strength to be in that phase where some
right.
people may become suicidal. However, I took another turn. Like I mentioned earlier,
Mm,
not everyone in the world has the courage or the strength to pick themselves up from wherever situation that they're going through in their life,
yeah.
and they might fall flat.
Mm,
They may not be able to pick themselves up and fight it out, or they may be having a lot of restrictions within themselves, a
mm,
lot of baggage that they might be carrying, a social stigma, maybe the family restrictions, maybe they have children and they really don't have time to look after themselves.
mm,
So there could be many reasons, or they might just be thorough career oriented and they have just given up on healing themselves, and they have a lot of regret within. They have a lot of fear within themselves, and they
mm,
may not realize that it's actually impacting their entire lifestyle or their entire happiness quotient in life. uh, and to realize that also you need to be a slightly intelligent, that there's something that is not working within me. There's something that is not complete.
yeah,
I'm in a relationship, but I'm not happy.
yeah,
So the spiritual healer's motive is just to bring that happiness to you, is to bring you closer to what you deserve, to what you can make out of life, instead of sitting and regretting,
mm,
instead of letting all the negativity sit in your heart, and you not being able to trust people, or you not being able to trust yourself, or you not being able to manage your own life. A spiritual healer probably is the guide that will make you aware of what's happening, make you connect better to relationships, make you connect better to the world, and make you feel much more happier and positive about yourself in the first place. It is very important for a spiritual healer to make you feel valued for yourself. Self acclamation, self realization, and self actualization is extremely important to actually achieve what you want to achieve in life. It's not only about achieving financial goals, it's not achieving about your health goals, it is actually about your life goals. Your entire life depends on your well being, your mental status, your awareness, and living the present moment. So
right.
it's very important for you to spiritually be healed
Mm,
and get away with all the negativity that you have to be able to prosper.
right. That is a lot of information, and I am still trying to process that. But is this what you'd like the audience to understand? Uh, what would you like the audience to understand? Because I am also still trying to
Intrigued.
understand. Yes, now what is this all about? What is it exactly that is done, or how do you do this? So, what would you like them to understand about this?
Let's take a daily life example. Let's take a woman who has gone through domestic violence
Hmm.
and she's been hit all her life by her
Okay.
partner, her boyfriend, her husband, whoever,
Right.
maybe even her father, when
Right.
she was a child.
Hmm.
And she's been hit and she's been traumatized.
Right.
She's going through that fear in her life. Now she's in a relationship.
Hmm.
However, she carries that baggage with her. She
Yeah.
carries that fear with her.
Hmm.
And she regrets a slightest change in her life can
Hmm.
make her feel uncomfortable.
Hmm.
She restricts herself from exploring the world,
Right.
and she does not trust any man.
Yes.
It is a critical situation.
Right. Of course.
You may not find easily because she puts a smile on her face all the time.
Yes.
She may be covering her scars with wearing a dupatta, or she might be covering her scars by wearing a dress that does not expose her hit parts of the body.
Right.
We cannot do anything in that situation. That's the doctors who come into play. but we can heal her spiritually.
Right.
We can make her understand her own worth and how she can protect herself, how she can overcome the fear of this domestic violence and live the actual new relationship that you have more happily. Because if she keeps on carrying this fear in her life, no matter which Prince Charming comes into her life, she will always doubt her situation. She will always doubt that man. She will always fear that she's going to be hit again. And
Yes.
that is something which will not let her live a potential life, a happy life. And she might eventually fall prey to mental illness. The
Right.
bridge between this is actually called spiritual healing, to bridge up this gap, not let you go into a stage where you feel depressed, not let you go into a phase where you are feel left out and alone. There are techniques which can actually get you out of that situation, to leave away all those baggages that you carry, to
Mm.
understand the fresh outlook of life, to
Yeah.
understand what actual life brings. When you're starting afresh, you have
Mm.
to let go and you have to pick yourself anyway. But when you are provided tools and techniques, it makes things easier for you. And that's what the spiritual healer can do for you. It's a
Okay.
very individualistic process. It does not come as a package for everyone. um,
Right.
the technique that apply on you may not apply on another person. And it's not just for women, it's for men also, because men go through a lot of other turmoils in their life as well.
Yes, of course.
So they have career, as their important part of their life, to put bread on the table, which is quite
Yeah.
taxing and trying in these times. and
Yeah.
and we hear a lot about people committing suicide. We
Mm.
hear a lot about people committing into getting into drugs or alcohol, because they're not being guided, or they're not being awakened, they're not being lifted from that dungeon that they have gotten into. And the spiritual healer will actually get you out of it.
Right. Is this by any chance mixed with psychology or psychotherapy, or is it just completely on its own?
There are several aspects of spiritual healing. Like I said, it's very individualistic in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is definitely psychology involved in it,
Yeah.
and there is definitely some kind of solution based, remedy based process that is
Mhm.
followed. But
Okay.
it is totally medicinal free, so it does not involve any medication. It does not involve you to go into a very different zone of life. It actually twists and turns your current practices into something that will help you ease out of the situation that you are in.
Right.
Your
And,
daily life will
mm,
carry on just the way you are, but you
okay.
will start seeing the improvement on how you are now taking care
Mm.
of the situations that you did not in the initial stages. You are much more prepared in terms of dealing with matters that may come up in your life. You're
Mm.
much more fearless to practice and perform your duties in terms of solving problems, managing issues, managing your relationships,
Mm.
managing your finances. But it is definitely totally dependent on the individual's personality, because you cannot just be spiritually healed if you do not understand what is happening to yourself.
Right.
You have to be honest and upfront to the healer of the exact issue that you are going through.
Right.
It's not astrology where you're reading
Mm.
someone's charts, it's not
Yeah.
palmistry where you're reading someone's hands, it's reading your
Mm.
mind. It's
Okay.
understanding what your cosmic energy and your aura is, how
Okay.
negative your aura is, and how to convert your aura into a positive aura, where you are not just internally happy, but also people around you are happy and you make them happy as well.
Right. So when you talk about cosmic energy and aura, so uh, how do you have like some way of scanning, or I mean, are you just figuratively speaking, Or do you like actually scan auras, or is there some method to this?
Yes.
And what do you mean by cosmic energy in this particular aspect?
Our cosmic energy is totally dependent on the universe that we live in.
Okay,
The universe is here to provide you. We have to understand that we come from dust and we go to dust.
right.
But there is variety of soil available. Some
Mm-hmm.
is only for herbs, some is only for, vegetables, some soil is only for just throwing out in the bin.
Okay,
What soil you have come from, what dust have you come from, and what dust you are going to. You
okay.
need to be absolutely sure about it because you have been created and brought to this world for a particular reason.
Okay.
That is what your spirit is.
Okay.
That is what your aura is. That is what how you connect with the cosmic energies, and that is how you connect with the universe.
Right. So when you talk about aura, you don't actually mean the different layers that is generally spoken about in an aura. You have your emotional body, physical body, mental body. Is that what you're referring to here in aura?
Yes, we are. And we also connect with the Vedic scientific techniques which focus on the aura, which talks about the Sukshma Sharir and the Sthapit Sharir. So the
Okay.
different angles of your aura, different
Hmm.
phases of your aura, but eventually you are just dust and your aura is within you. That is your spirit.
That's
That
just.
is what you carry. That is what you throw as a light to others. Your
Mm,
light needs to be bright enough for
mm,
you also to consume that as well as the others to consume that. But if you have a darker aura
mm,
and you have a darker shade or a grayer shade, it totally
mm,
means that somewhere within yourself you have a negative aspect lying which is
mm.
not letting you grow to your own potential, and that also diminishes the image of the people that you are coming in contact with. You're
Mm,
tarnishing their as well as your own aura. And also, it's not just about your aura. You also need to understand how you connect with the wider audience, the
yeah.
wider universe,
Mm,
because everybody has a faith that they follow.
yes.
Maybe you follow a faith of God, or you follow the faith of Allah, or you follow the
Mm,
faith of Bhagwan. It does not matter.
yeah.
At that point in time, as long as your inner soul, your inner spirit clearly knows what it wants to achieve. And if you want
Right.
to achieve something, you have to be mentally, physically, spiritually aware and ready for it.
Right. So basically, what you're saying is that every aspect of us is our spirit, and our spirit is basically connected to the source, the
The wider
where
universe.
creation came from. Right. That is
Absolutely.
what you mean, and that's where I guess the cosmic energies come from. If I'm getting it right.
That is correct. All the spiritual healers strongly believe that we are a creation of one particular source. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody has a, difference of opinion there.
Yes.
But
Just different names. Yeah.
how you define your own belief is what you are as a person. If I strongly believe in Buddhism, I will strongly follow and preach Buddhism. If I strongly believe X, I will strongly do that.
Yeah.
But that means I'm clear on my statement. I'm clear and I understand the repercussions also.
Right.
That means you are spiritually awakened in that aspect.
Okay.
But if you cannot manage your problem, you do not
Hmm.
understand your problem, you do not
Hmm.
know how to go ahead and deal with it. That
Yeah.
means you're spiritually not clear of what you want to achieve of that problem. Whether
That's
you want to keep on dragging it in your life or you want to put a full stop and turn things around and bring them to a quotient where you think you're comfortable.
Yes, I get it now that a lot of people talk about being spiritual. Uh, I'm awakened or I'm in the awakening process. But actually, when it comes down to basic living, dealing with day to day life issues, uh, I don't think they understand what spirituality involves.
And
Spirituality is on as a whole. It's not just like, okay, I'm doing this ritual, I do this, I do that, and we have to live here, live on earth, be humans, as humans experience the whole spectrum of things that we go through, and still be spiritual and
absolutely,
deal it.
absolutely.
Yeah, am
And
I encapsulating
absolutely.
it in the way you want, you are expressing?
Absolutely. And this is something which is a very fine line. People mistaken spirituality with religion.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Spirituality and spiritual healing has got nothing to do with religion.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't follow your religion,
Yes.
but they both are two different aspects of life
Hmm.
and they are practiced in a different manner. You may feel for a poor child and you may just get up and go and feed them.
Hmm.
You don't need to be a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai for that.
Yes.
You are just being a human being.
That's
That
right.
is that is very different and that is spiritual.
Yes, and also in today's time, not only religion, I think there are a lot of schools of thought which come out with different aspects of so-called spirituality. The different schools of thought. So there are two extremes. Like, these people think spirituality is doing these rituals or doing this, and I am a spiritual person, even though I don't believe in religion, I don't do all this. And then the religious people are like, oh, these people are talking nonsense, and the actual path to reaching God or whatever they believe in is only through religion. So I guess what they call as the new age movement now has made things very complicated. This concept of spirituality has kind of twisted, and people kind of, and there are a lot of negative connotations to the word spirituality these days. I mean, that's what I have been noticing lately, being in spiritual groups and all that. So, from what we've spoken right now till now, I mean, what would be a giveaway to our viewers? What message would you like to give to our viewers?
I have only one thing to say.
Hmm.
If you are spiritually healed,
Hmm.
life is a much better place to be in.
Okay.
Living is very important. Your life is very important.
Hmm.
And to live this life, you have to be absolutely positive in
Hmm.
all your approaches.
Yeah.
You have to be able, be prepared
Hmm.
and ready to face the ups and downs, what may come or what life entails. You cannot envisage anything,
Hmm.
but you have to be prepared for anything that comes across your way and move ahead. Move ahead in a better way. Move ahead with your family. Move ahead with the relationships that you have.
Hmm.
Forget and forgive. Being spiritual is different to spiritual healing, is different to being a religious person. Is
Right.
very important to understand this concept.
Yes. Yes. The difference between them all. Yeah.
The difference is very important. And if you, the biggest giveaway I can say is how to be positive,
Okay.
how to pick yourself up, move ahead in life, and
Right.
achieve your full potential, not just your goals, but
Yeah.
your full potential. I may have a goal of a BMW or a
Hmm.
Ferrari that can be achieved with earning a little bit extra money.
Yeah.
But what is your life goal? What are your life? What? How do you value yourself as a person, as a
Hmm.
life, which is important?
Right, and you assist people in this path, in the upliftment and being positive. So, do you like conduct workshops, or do you have uh, retreats, or how do you do this? Are you conducting healing sessions online?
Yes,
Yeah. How
we
can
we
our
have
viewers know? Yeah.
we have both facilities. We do group workshops.
Okay.
We also do individual sessions.
Mm-hmm.
depending on what the demand of the client is.
Mm-hmm.
We also have online sessions, which we are very recently started due to COVID, because spiritual healing is something which we personally like to see the person, face to face, to be able to see their progress. However, due to COVID, we have now started going on an online platform. We do online workshops, we do online personal sessions. We also provide telephonic assistance.
Right.
So there are multiple avenues that you can reach out.
Right. And if a person gets, let's say they need a session with you or they come to you with an issue, how many sessions do they usually require? I mean, how many times do they need to come to you? I mean, I'm sure it's dependent from situation to situation, but generally.
What we have seen in the progress that we've made 4 years of
Mm,
our work with the society here in Australia, people have technically required 5 sessions
okay.
to go through the entire process,
Mm,
which is the minimum requirement. And then we provide them with a progress chart plan, which they keep a track of themselves, and contact us if they're facing any difficulties throughout this time. A validity period is provided for a year.
okay.
However, in very difficult cases, we've also gone and beyond, done 25 sessions individually, 30 sessions individually, because there have been cases where we have a person who's had multiple disorders, multiple fears that they have a package of. To get rid of one, they come with another. And then we realize, okay, this person actually is suffering from multiple syndromes and we need to work differently. But
Mm,
yes, on a normal cause, a 5 sitting session is more than enough.
mm,
Workshops technically don't provide you personalized session. Workshops are more introductory in nature.
mm,
And also the workshop provides you with basics that you can follow at home,
mhm.
and they are more generalistic in nature. The techniques that we offer in our workshops, the workshop does not have more than 15 people. We want to limit our personal attention,
Yeah.
but the tools and techniques that are provided during the workshop are primarily very general in nature. But yes, obviously, because a person is hard hit,
Mm,
we prefer the individual sessions. And like I said, 5 is the minimum that they might require.
right. So, could you please let our viewers know where they can find you or what information, how do they contact you if they want more information about what you do?
Absolutely. I'm located in Sydney, Australia, which is 2 hours ahead of Malaysian time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yes.
It is approximately 4:15 here in the evening. I am contactable throughout the day,
Mm,
Sydney time. I'm available on the phone. If you want to contact me, my number is 61401 772 631. And we also have a professional email, which is path to upliftment at gmail.com. Our website is currently underway because we're trying to improve our services and grow our avenues. So there is a lot of work happening on our website, which will be up soon, which will be part to upliftment, obviously.
okay.
But that information will be rolled out to you. If you are looking for more information, you can always WhatsApp me, Skype me, call me, or put me an email on that email ID, and we will definitely look after you.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So I'm glad that the viewers have some information of how to get in touch with you since your website is not available right now. And it's been great talking to you, Sarika. It's
Same here.
it's been something I've never heard about. I mean, something like spiritual healing, it's very new. I mean, I have learned a lot of different modalities myself, but I have never come across something like this, which is in this kind of package, if I may call it, where it addresses so many different aspects to a person. So, with this, I would really like to say thank you so much for coming, and it was really nice having you here.
Thank you
And
so much for
all
your time as well.
and to all my viewers, Thank you so much for joining me on We Now Hub's interview series. I invite women of substance like her, like Sarika, and women who have something inspiring, an inspiring story to tell, or some inspiring life incident. And if you are interested in coming on my interview series, please get in touch with me at wenowhub@gmail.com. And please keep watching us so I may bring please support and like and subscribe to We Now Hub on YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, bye Sarika.
Bye bye.